Here is a sentence that sounds impossible. Last year, the average American worker got a raise and took a pay cut. Both halves are true at the same time. Paychecks grew about 3%, and the government's own numbers say that after inflation, real hourly pay went down 0.2%. Bigger number on the pay stub, smaller card at the store. This is not bad luck. It is a machine, and by the end of this video, you will see every gear in it. The receipt comes straight from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Over the 12 months ending July 2026, real average hourly earnings, that is pay measured in what it actually buys, fell 0.2%. Millions of raises celebrated at millions of kitchen tables, and the purchasing power of an average hour of work quietly shrank. To see the machine, you only need to understand two numbers that sound identical and behave like enemies. Act 1. Nominal versus real. Nominal is the number printed on your paycheck dollars, with no memory of what dollars used to buy. Real is that same paycheck divided by prices hours of work, converted into groceries, rent, and gas. Every money mistake in this episode comes from confusing them. A raise is nominal, whether you got richer is real, and the machine is powered by everyone watching the first number while living in the second. Watch one full turn of the treadmill. You negotiate a raise, it arrives once a year if you push for it. Prices do not wait. They reprice continuously at every register all year long. By the time your raise lands, part of it has already been spent by inflation that happened while you waited. So you start the next lap slightly behind, negotiate again, and the belt keeps moving. Wages step, prices glide. The gap between a staircase and a ramp, that gap is the machine. How fast is the belt moving right now? The July 2026 Consumer Price Index came in at 3.4% for the year. That sounds mild until you remember it compounds. 3.4% is not a one-time toll. It is a toll that charges you again next year on the new, higher prices. Put the two worlds side by side for one worker. In the nominal world, a $30 hourly wage becomes $30.90, a 3% raise. Congratulations, sign here. In the real world, prices rose 3.4%, so the new wage buys slightly less than the old one did a year ago. Same person, same job, same pay stub. One version celebrates, the other quietly downsizes the grocery list. Banks, employers, and headlines all speak nominal. Your life is denominated in real. And you feel it exactly where the statistician said you would. The average family notices inflation not as a percentage, but as a translation. The same $100 walking out of the store in fewer bags. Prices in America are up roughly 25% since January 2020, which means a $100 grocery run from 2020 now costs about $125 for the same basket. Here is the rule of thumb that makes compounding visible. Divide 72 by the inflation rate, and you get the years until prices double. At today's 3.4%, everything doubles in about 21 years. Your money does not have to be stolen to be halved. It just has to sit still while the belt runs. So if the average worker is walking slightly backward, where does the ground they lose actually go? Act 2, the transfer, because inflation does not destroy purchasing power, it moves it. Start with who pays. Savers holding cash every year, the pile buys less. Anyone on fixed income, a pension or annuity written in yesterday's dollars, slowly starves in today's prices. Lenders locked into old low rates, the money paid back is worth less than the money they lent. And workers whose wages adjust annually while prices adjust daily. Notice the pattern. Inflation punishes everyone whose money is standing still or written down in fixed nominal numbers. Now follow where it flows. Borrowers with fixed-rate debt win automatically. Their payment stays frozen while the dollars used to pay it get cheaper. Inflation quietly pays part of their mortgage. Owners of real assets win. because things tend to reprice upward while debts do not. And the single biggest fixed-rate borrower on planet Earth is government. Every point of inflation shrinks the real weight of public debt without a single vote being cast. That is why economists have called inflation a tax no legislature has to pass. A century ago, John Maynard Keynes described the mechanism with a bluntness no modern central banker would dare. By a continuing process of inflation, governments can confiscate, secretly and unobserved, an important part of the wealth of their citizens. Secretly and unobserved, that is the machine's favorite feature. There is no line for it on your pay stub. And the machine has been running hot. Since January 2020, the American price level has risen roughly 25%. A quarter of the dollar's 2020 grocery power transferred, in 5 years, from everyone holding still to everyone positioned on the other side of the flow. Most of the people who paid never saw the bill. There is one more disguise worth knowing: shrinkflation. When raising the sticker price feels too loud, sellers shrink the product. Instead, fewer sheets on the roll, lighter boxes, more air in the bag, same price on the shelf. The most famous case: in 2016, Toblerone widened the gaps between its chocolate peaks rather than touch the price, and the internet noticed. The statisticians do catch it. The CPI adjusts for package sizes. Your eyes, in a hurry, usually do not. The mechanics of shrinkflation are pure psychology. Shoppers memorize prices, not weights, so the price stays and the grams go. Redesigns hide the shrink. New packaging, same silhouette, less inside. It concentrates in groceries and household staples, where nobody reads the fine print at speed. The defense takes 5 seconds. Ignore the sticker, read the unit price, the cost per ounce or per 100 grams printed on the shelf tag. The unit price cannot be shrunk. Which leaves the strangest question in modern money. If inflation quietly taxes you, why do the people in charge of it aim for it on purpose? Act 3. The 2% question. The Federal Reserve's official target is 2% inflation, every year forever, not zero. And the origin of that sacred number is almost comically human. It traces to New Zealand around 1990, when their central bank picked a low single-digit range for the first formal inflation target in history, and it worked well enough that the rest of the world copied it. The global standard for the price of money began as one small country's judgment call. But there is real logic under the folklore. At zero, economies flirt with deflation. Falling prices and deflation is a doom loop. Shoppers delay purchases waiting for cheaper, sales fall, wages get cut, debts grow heavier in real terms. Central banks fear it more than inflation. A steady 2% also greases a stubborn human gear. Companies can give 1% raises in a 2% world, a real pay cut nobody riots over instead of cutting nominal wages, which people never accept. 2% is the machine's tolerance, enough slack to steer with, paid for permanently by every paycheck that fails to keep up. And because it compounds, the rate is destiny. Use the rule of 72. At the Fed's 2% target, prices double every 36 years, once a working lifetime, almost polite. At today's 3.4 every 21 years. At 7%, the 2022 flashpoint every 10. And at 10%, prices double every 7 years, which is how savings evaporate inside a single decade. Small differences in the rate are enormous differences in your life. So what transfers to you? First, negotiate in real terms. A raise below inflation is a pay cut with a bow on it. Walk in knowing the latest CPI print. Second, understand which side of the transfer your money sits on. Cash standing still pays the tax, and this channel's earlier episodes on assets and index funds show what the other side of the ledger looks like. Third, read unit prices, not stickers. And fourth, judge your finances and every headline about wages. Real dollars. The machine only works on people who watch the nominal number. You have now seen the gears. Watch the real one. Inflation is not weather. It is a machine with winners, losers, and a control room, and now you can read its gauges. If this rewired how you will read your next raise, subscribe. Every number is sourced in the description, alongside the other mechanics channels. Because next week we open the deal most people sign without reading. The 401k, where the fine print quietly decides your retirement decades in advance. The more you understand the machine, the better you can play it. See you in the next one.